Hello everyone, welcome back to more Tametsi. We're going to move on to the bottom row of puzzles, starting with number 91, Happy Little Accident. It's flowers. It's a Bob Ross painting. Did he do flowers? I always thought he was more excited about like trees and mountains and stuff. We don't have any zeros in the column clues or over here. But I do have a 3 next to a 1, which is a fine place to start. Okay, that seems to have stopped. Another 3 next to a 1, but this one doesn't have a space below it filled in, so I can't even say this much. It could be all these, for example. 3, 2, 1 should maybe be interesting. Yeah, because in a hex grid, the 2s kind of act like information conduits. They don't really change the amount of information. They just preserve it. And 3s and 1s kind of create information, right? So we have at least one of these 2 for this 3. Well, this sucks. So at most one of these 2, but that doesn't help. But I think if we go in the other direction, we get somewhere. This 2, oh, is the 2 inverting the amount of information that I have? I have at least one of these 2, and this 2 therefore has at most 1. Yeah, oh, the 2s are actually kind of inverting information, not just preserving it. That's interesting. Anyway, so this 1 is finished, and we have no mines here. All right, well, I guess I give up. Everything else is clearly impossible. I don't know, we probably have to start looking at column clues somehow. I don't think any of the flower stems can go anywhere. So what exactly are we looking at? Like, I'd kind of like to see, I think, a pair of small numbers surrounding a stem, but I don't see that at all. Oh, can I go back down from this proof that I made here to prove something about the rest of this area? I bet I can. There's 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and therefore both of these for this 3. Yes, that's what I was supposed to do. Now the 0 lets me explore a bit more. This 1 goes off. This 2 across from this 1 has at least one of these. The last one, or at most one of those. The last one has to be here. And now this one opposite this one gives me these spaces. That's a 0. Now this one opposite this one as well. We get those spaces. How did I get these spaces? Could I have done something more with that at the time? No. Yeah, opening these 2 and marking these 2 was the reward I got for that area. Okay. I mean, the number of bees on the grid right now is 29, so the fact that there are 10 of them is not very promising. Maybe there's a column that just like has all of its mines? Or something close to it? Like this 9, 3, 6, 9. There are only 11 in its column. I know 2 of them are not mines and the rest are, but I can't tell which, right? This 2 has at least one here, therefore there's at most one here. Doesn't seem to matter. This is a tough one to get started on. Am I really done with everything in just the grid? I guess I should double check that. I mean, I still have at least one of these two, which is at most one of these two, which is just utterly useless. It means at least 0 of these two, which obviously helps nobody. And you can't do anything on the way down here. I also have at least one of these two, for what that's worth, but not much is the answer. One of these two. These 2s along the top here don't interact with each other in any interesting ways. I guess we do have at least one of the mines from this 2 is touching one of the mines here. So we do have at most 3 in this combined area. But I don't see a way to make that useful, just as a fact. Over here, I think, again, nothing that interesting. This one is the one that's been explored the most thoroughly, but we just have 1, 1, 1. This 3 is like almost a thing. I wonder if we can do this column. Well, we'll get back to columns. I just want to check there's nothing else on the grid at the moment. And I don't see anything in this flower. So what about this flower? There it is. There's a 3. All right, well, I'm still stuck. Right? Yeah. I have at least one of these. Doesn't really help. So I thought that this 3 was interesting. One reason for that is that I know for this 3 we have at least one of these 2 squares. The problem is I can't really show any more in that column. This 3 is sort of interesting. There's 1 here. Exactly 1. But there could be a lot of others here, or there could be none. Oh no! Are there 10 A's? There are 10 A's. This whole blue thing is my starting area, and I just didn't notice it. I saw large numbers and was like, ah, whatever. Oh my god, they're all mines, you idiot. Okay. Well, that's a little bit less useful than I hoped it would be, actually. Because we have 1 mine here. But I can't find another guaranteed mine in this area, I don't think. I guess I have at most one of these 2 now, which means at least 1 here. That still doesn't seem to do anything. Well, I'm not sure what revealing those A's did for me, to be honest. It, like, the only thing it did was this. Right? So this must be where I'm supposed to work, because everything else looked dead until I saw these A's. The fact that it looks not useful is like an illusion. It must be useful somehow. I don't think I can, like, combine these two columns, right? If I did, I'd have a total of 4 here. I know there's 1 there. That's about it. It just gets even worse. Yeah. I just I don't know what else to do at all. Like, a thing we could consider would be combining this 3 and this 4, because we have, like, a lot of information about these 2 columns. But it turns out not to be all that much. You get 1 mine here and 2 mines here. That's 3. You have 4 more to find. You know, at least one of them is here. But there's still 3 more to find, and nobody knows where they could be. Did I really figure out nothing from covering up all those A's? That just feels wrong. But I don't know. This puzzle has me completely baffled. I just can't get in. I can't get started at all. I know it's only been 15 minutes, but less. But usually, like, I don't know. I don't spend the first 15 minutes getting nowhere. Yeah, I clicked a few things, but mostly I got nowhere. And there are so few clues, so few areas you could work on, that I kind of feel like I've tried everything I can think of. Is there some way we could work on the C's? I don't think so. And the D's, there's just an absolute ton of them. Yeah, we don't even have clues touching 3 of the C's. So I don't see any way, or even 2 of them, which could conceivably be enough. So I don't see how we can conclude anything about the C's. And these columns are extremely tall. So I can't do much with them. I guess, okay, let's look at this too. Because unless we have 2 mines here, I can actually make progress. Right? If we put 2 mines here, well, actually, no. If I have 2 mines in this area, then I can't really make any progress. Because there are none here, and that means I can't finish this column. But if the number of mines in this area is 1, then I can make some progress, right? Because I'll know that there's 1 here and 1 here. In fact, something I can say for certain, though, is that there is at least 1 here. Because if there were none, there'd have to be 2 mines here and 1 mine here, which would break the column. So the fact that there's at least 1 here is kind of the same as there being at most 1 here, which I already knew, but I hadn't really thought of it in that way yet. So what I'd like to do is to prove that there can't be 2 in this area. The problem is that I can't see any way to even make progress towards proving that without like assuming what we wanted to prove, which is that, you know, there's a mine here. Like, could there be 0 mines here is kind of equivalent to the question that I'm asking. It's the inverse of it. Or, no, it's the same. It's the same question. Could there be 0 mines here is the same as asking, could there be 2 mines here? There would also... This 3 is another thing that could contribute mines over here. Right? Maybe that's the idea, is this 3 and this 2, combining both of these 2s into row hints, into column hints, might actually get me somewhere. Because we know there's 1 here, right? In this set of 2 columns. That's 1. Now, the only way this could be difficult is if there were 2 mines in this whole area, right? Okay, I get it. I get it. I'm doing it wrong, but I get it. I shouldn't look at these 1s. They're a distraction. The clues that are telling me about this column are this 2 and this 3. This 3 needs to put at least 1 here. And this 2 needs to put at least 1 here. And therefore, they put exactly that many because that finishes the column. Thank God, we're getting somewhere. The rest of this column is done. There we go. And there's even a 0 at the top of it. How lovely. One here, 1 here. What else? What about this area? Ah. No. Okay, I can make progress along this column. There's at most 1 here, which means at least 1 here. So this 1 is finished. And then we go backwards. There's exactly 1 here, so exactly 1 here. So this 1 is finished. And we've clicked one of the C's, which is very nice. I feel like I should be able to find the mine in here, but I actually don't think I can. but it's starting to look useful to count the combined 1 and 7 clues. There are 2 of them here. 2 more of them here. Actually, we can do better than that. 1, 1, 1, 1. That's 4. 5. And we're looking for a total of 8, huh? We don't care about the stuff in this column. This 3... Yeah, this 3 doesn't quite solve it. We know that in this area, there are at least 2 in these 2 columns that we're working on, touched by the 3. But that's only 7 of our 8, and there's 1 more space one could go. So here's a kind of interesting fact, I guess. We can say exactly 1 of these 2 spaces. I guess. But this all makes me think that it might be more fruitful to combine actually all 3 of these columns. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. And we need 2 more, right? Well, I can't do that. There's 1 here. I need 1 more. So I need 1 of these 2 spaces. And I guess maybe together with the fact that these 2 spaces are linked, we get somewhere. Suppose that I said this is a mine. Then this wouldn't be, this would be, this wouldn't be, this would be also? Wait, if I said this is a mine, right? Then this is not. And that means this is. And this isn't, and this is. So by putting a mine here, haven't I broken... I've put 2 in this area that I said has exactly 1? I think that I'll find the same thing if I make this not a mine, which tells me that I've incorrectly marked. Say this isn't a mine. Then, by my logic, this is. And this isn't. And this is. And this isn't. Yeah, so something I've marked is incorrect because this is just an impossible... I've built a cycle that says A must equal not A, right? The other thing I could look at is this 3, which looks almost useful, but not quite. We have at least 1 here for this 2, and likewise at least 1 here for this 3, but I can't prove any more. Oh, yes, I can. This 3 has at least 1. So the rest of the row is safe. And there's in fact exactly 1 in each of those areas, which means there's a mine here, and there are mines here and here, and there are mines here and here. And now we can erase that, and this. And all this spine of zeros opens up. This has definitely been a difficult puzzle for me. No question. Oops, not there, but there. No question about it. But I'm getting... Oh, hey, come back here. I'm getting somewhere. It feels like I've hit on something big. All sorts of stuff is happening now. But probably it won't go on forever. And I'll have to make some more exciting predictions soon. There's 1 here, which means this 3 needs both of these. Now these zeros resolve everything. This has a 2. This 2 needs at most 1 here, therefore this is a mine and this isn't. This 1 overlaps with this 1 to give me this space, and none of that. Which finishes this 2, right? We need both of these? Yes. This one's still not resolved. But this 2 is looking pretty good. We have 1 that touches both of these and 1 down here. So it has to be this and 1 of these. This 1 puts a mine there. This is a 2. 1 goes there. That's a 0. This 2 has 2 neighbors. This column's finished. That's a 0. This 1 goes there. This column's finished. This 1 has to go there. That's a 0. This column's looking good. We have these 2 1s, so this isn't a mine. This 2 looks good. There's at least 1 here and exactly 1 here. That's that all done. This 3 has 3 neighbors, so we can click everything. There are 2 mines in this area. One of them is these 2. That's the other. And this 1 has its mine over here, so not there. This finishes all that. Okay, that was a big breakthrough all at once from working out a couple of column clues that were more difficult to spot than the others. And I bet we can do this one now. Yes, we can. 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. And that's the 3 for the column, of course. This 2? I don't actually see it yet. We have 1 here. Oh, I see. It's not, we can't solve the column because of the grid, but we can solve the grid because of the column. We have 1 of these 2, therefore 1 of these 2, which finishes this 1. Excuse me. Oh, I couldn't see. There's a D there. All right. This was, I don't know. That green color is too bright for me. That's my opinion. But we can do this column actually. Oh, I already did. Whoops. Okay, we can probably do something with this column, right? There's 1 here. I don't mean column like this clue, but just like this extending column of hexagons. Therefore 1 here, therefore 1 here, therefore 1 here. That finishes the 1. Now this 1 goes there. And now we can do this column. There's 1 of these 2, so the second mine is this D that I clicked earlier. Okay, it's still not cooperating exactly. Can't do C count yet. Can't do B count, obviously. Or can't obviously do B count, I should say. Well, maybe I can do another one of these 3 columns. Since we know one of these, we also know one of these. And since we know one of these, we know one of these. And that's 2 of the 3 in this column, but it doesn't seem to be all of them. What about over here? We have at least one of these. And that's about all I can say. Ah, I see. This 1, we have 1 here. So this 2 has 1 here. Ignore me drawing super farther than necessary, which finishes this 1 here. And now we can do this. This 1 has only 1 neighbor, it's here. And I think maybe that resolved, was there some ambiguity in this column that I wanted resolved? I think so. Yeah, there's 1 here and 1 here. Therefore, 1 here and 1 here. And the remainder of this column, these 2, is safe. And I can get something, just a little bit, out of this column. I have 1 here. Actually, it'll be more interesting if I start from the bottom. I have at least 1 here for this 2. And I have at least 1 here for this 2. So in this area, there's at most 1 mine. Well, there must be 1, and it has to touch both of these spaces, so it's here. This 3 needs 3 neighbor mines. Now this 1 has exactly one of these 2, so this 2 is finished. Of course, there's a 0 up here, which would be an easy place to go as well. This column? Oh, I've done the C's, so this isn't a mine. And this column has its last mine down here. Oh, also this 2 needs its mine here to, since there's only 1 here. We knew that, but I forgot to write it down earlier. And since we have 1 of these, this column is finished, and that's not a mine. This 1 must go there, finishing the column, and of course giving me these zeros. This is a mine. These aren't. This is a 2 with 2 neighbors. That's a 0. We're close to finishing the B's. This 2 has 2 neighbors, so it's those. Am I stupid? Did I have a bunch of stuff relating to this 2 already before? No, this used to be a 3. That's why I couldn't do anything. But now that it's a 1, I have some much better ideas, right? I know that I need 1 up here to avoid putting both down here, and likewise 1 down here to avoid putting both up here. So these 1s adjacent to the 2s are in fact finished. And I can click like that. I might be stupid, but not because of that. That's all. Oh, this column is done with this 2. We have at least one of these, therefore exactly 1. And we can do the rest of the column. This 3 should be informational now. We have 1 here. And at most 1... Oh. Yeah. At most 1 here. Therefore, at least 1 in this remaining space. Right? And that means that the last mine... it's like, you know what? It's even easier to observe that this 1 has no neighbor, has only 1 neighbor. Anyway, this 1 has to be one of these 2, so that's not a mine. This 1 has only 1 neighbor, it's there. We resolve this, that's the mine down here. This 1 has to go there, that's a 0. 1 goes there, 0. That's a 1 with 1 neighbor, 0 goes there, more 1s with 1 neighbor. There's 1 B mine left, this must be it. I guess we could tell that just from here. How about D's? We have 1 of them? Well, it must be one of these 2 to satisfy this 2, so the remainder are all safe, and that's a mine. This 1 has to go there. Okay. This 1, I guess, needs to be there. I feel like I have to work on this column, which seems a bit tough, but okay, I guess I'll try it. I have 1, 2, 3... I have a 4th, but I don't know if it's one of these 2 or this one. Oh, no, I see. This 1 puts a mine here, which finishes this column, so that is not the last D. This is. And I can go up here. Now I think I can resolve this 3, which used to be the 4 I was looking at a minute ago. There's 1 here. Well, again, it's more exciting if I start from the top. 1 here, 1 here. Therefore, 1 in this area, which touches both of these mines, it's there. And none of these 2 for the column again. 1 of these 2 must be there. What am I missing? Shouldn't something exciting be happening now? Yes, there it is. This 2 is finished. And now there's only 3 mines left. I was going to say there can't be any in this area because they all have to touch this stuff. But actually, like a mine here and here resolves everything I can see and would put a mine down there. So I have to think a little harder to prove something. In fact, what can I prove? I mean, there's 1 here. There's 1 here. Huh. That's very strange. Did I make a mistake somewhere? I don't see... This is a very simple position, and I can't see a solution to it. Maybe the idea is to think about the fact that at least one of that like exactly one of these two is a mine, which has some effect on these ones, right? I don't know. I'm just going to try this one with guessing. So suppose this were the mine. We'd have none of these, and therefore this. Ah. In that case, the last one would have to be up here for this column, and we could go down here. So what if instead this were the mine, though? We'd have nothing here. Nothing here. Oh, this space is safe either way? That's interesting. Why the hell is that? I think that's actually like almost the only thing I can say in this position is that space is safe no matter what. It's some interplay with like the column clues and the ones we have, but I don't really understand why. Okay, try that again. Suppose that this is a mine. Then this isn't, and this isn't. And to finish the column, one of these two must be. So these are both safe, and one of them, these isn't. Suppose that I instead say this is the mine. Then this isn't, and this is. Yep, I just messed up when concluding that. All right. And in that case, these are both safe. And so is this. So this time I'm getting that this one is always safe. And given that I clicked here and saw a mine, I know that in fact this is definitely safe, but I don't know if this is an accurate proof. So I'm going to try, just do the same thing again. Suppose this were the mine. This wouldn't be. And one of these two would have to be to finish this one, which finishes this column. So these are both safe, and one of these is dangerous, but I don't know which. Fine. Now let's suppose that this is the mine. Then these are both safe, and so is this, which means this is dangerous, and this is safe. So I'm right that this is definitely safe, but this is such a small area, there must be some deeper reason. Something I can generalize for future games, right? Like, can I show that like these have opposite parity, for example? If this is a mine, this isn't and this is. Oh, they have the same parity. Because if this isn't a mine, this is and this isn't. So these two spaces have the same parity. And I mean, I can see how that leads to the conclusion we drew, but only by like going through it one step at a time. Like, I don't know. Anyway, that's safe. And now, yeah, we can coordinate on that too. Well, not as easily as that, actually. There's one here. But that just means one in this whole area, which doesn't tell me much. I could say one here, and then one in this whole area, but that also doesn't tell me very much. Because this one could be up here, or it could be one of these two. What the heck? Ah, no, now I'm done. Because I know there's 3 mines total in the area. One of them is here. 2 of them are here. So the last 2 spaces are safe. And now I can actually solve this too. There's 1 here and 1 here. So these spaces are safe. All right. So was it just the 2 blunders? One when I clicked A's instead of not clicking them, and then one down here, or was there another? I don't remember for sure. Either way, a very difficult puzzle to get started with, I found. Like, the clue I eventually had to find to get started was not a very complicated one. It was just like, look, there's 3 mines here, and you can find 3 places where there's at least one. You've done that a million times, but like, I don't know, it didn't stand out to me as much as some of the other ways you might work column clues. Anyway, that's been number 91, our Bob Ross painting of the day, Happy Little Accident. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.